Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Healing Bench. Today for you we have a treat from the scrap metal pile. This poor woebegone pair of chisels. I picked these out of a garbage heap somewhere once, actually years ago, and they sat in a drawer for a long time until I realized I wanted to do some woodworking. And I decided, hey, I have some chisels, I should sharpen those up and use them. Somewhere in between then and now, I actually picked up a little set of these fullers. These are just chisel shaped, I guess you would call them. Nice and heavy build construction, big strike plate there in steel. But the quality of the blade, the tip of these seems to be somewhere between like half hardened steel and Parmesan. So I don't really like to use them that much. Good for rough work, I suppose. But if you're really down into a piece of wood and you're trying to pare off a little bit with the chisel, it has to be able to have an edge on it. And that's a piece of oak there, but it has to have an edge and keep an edge sort of reliably. So I've been using these two poor things. This one has been sharpened a bit. And this one I cleaned up quite a bit, sharpened, and I've sharpened and used them a lot. But I thought this poor thing deserves a remake. It used to have a brand on it. I think it was something like Handy Home or Hardware House or some nonsense. It reminded me of Home Hardware when I looked it up, but it's not Home Hardware. On the shaft here is a little triangle mark stamped in. And on the back they say Made in Sweden. So these are the Swedish Chef's Weekend Woodworking Chisels. Bork, bork, bork. But this one is particularly bork. It's kind of getting peened over, and this thing is wobbly and loose. It's got lots of paint and crap all over it, and tarnish and so on and so forth. So I thought, let's give this thing a makeover. And we're going to start up in the butt end of it here, and it seems like there are just two little, where's my pointing stick? I don't have a pointing stick. Here's a pointing stick. There's just two little like finish nails, one here and one here, that just hold this ring on, and should be able to bite those out of there. Maybe with the side biters. We shall see. Oh, there goes. Got a little movement. Try not to gouge up the handle of wood too much there. Huh. I don't know if that's original equipment or not. That's pretty sure that's actually just a finishing nail that somebody snipped off, because I can see the bite mark in the shaft of it there. So that's an improvement in badness. Let's see if we can get this one to move. I might have to come in under it. Alright, we're sneaking up on a result. Here. I filed the head of that little nail off and kind of countersunk it into the hole a little bit. And I think there, it'll pry off. Should be able to straighten that up a little. And now there's plenty of it to buy. Oh geez, there's hardly anything there. That doesn't, that might be a new brake. I'm not sure. Let's find out if there. Yeah, you can feel the drag. There is a little piece of nail in there still. Ha! Son of a gun. Broke off. Well, either I broke that off or it was already ruined. one way or the other. It's ruined now. There you go. That's a little bit different story there. I hate to lose the logo, but I don't really have a way to reproduce it anyway. It's not like I'm some premium fancy brand or anything. I'm just going to clean those little grooves out a little bit. I'm about 97% sure that somebody was opening paint cans with this or something in its past. Committing all kinds of atrocities at the poor thing. So there's clearly paint or something jammed into all the cracks and crevices. Also, in clearing that thing off, you can see the wood's kind of in terrible shape. Got a big chip out of it here. Big crack in it there. Crack in it here. But it's strong. It's not a chisel I plan to use for striking type work anyway. I have some cheap big mortising chisels for that kind of stuff. This is more of like a hand chisel-y kind of work piece. So I think we'll try to clean her up as best we can. And maybe squidge a little crazy glue into those cracks. This thing will see a bit of a sanding. And should have wire wheeled that stupid metal ring. Son of a diddly. Let me get the grinder. That's a heck of an improvement. I wanted to see what that looked like. Alright, so we have our little steel ring. Our one nail that's salvageable. And I found another little nail. That's good. I took the handle over to the drill press and it just sort of drilled out a little bit of hole past the broken old nail, so we should hopefully be able to smush a nail into there. Now this thing, I took this and did an expert masking job here to protect the shiny bits. And they're stuck to me now. That's good. So just kind of wedged some glue. Did my best. Did my best, A, to not make a big mess, and B, to just kind of force some crazy glue into most of those cracks there. Actually, let me just tape over that a little again. See what she looks like in here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's not bad. Got a little bit of a glue residue there. That's now part of the character, you see. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Cracks are still there, of course, but that'll give him a half chance. Anyway. Okay. Beautiful. That's good enough for me. So, let's get our handle on here. Let's get our original equipment nail here, maybe tidy that up a little. Yeah, not bad. Let's see if that'll drive back home into there. Yes, sir. And we'll try this other one. See if that gets a new. That needs a little work on the actual metal vise there. This is too bouncy. Hold on a sec. Okay, so here is our poor unfortunate little chisel. Kind of cleaned up. It's got a bit of an edge on it there. Cap is on. It's not wiggly. It's time for basically the last steps, the linseed oil step. Now, when I'm doing linseed oil, I'm super paranoid about the rag, so I don't like to do just one thing. So we're just going to tune these up here as well. Like I said, I'm paranoid about the rag. Linseed oil has a funny habit of spontaneously combusting if it's in a rag. Balled up somewhere, the exothermic reaction of the oil polymerizing makes heat and accelerates itself, and if it's all balled up somewhere in the garbage or whatever, it can make fire. Some shops get lost from time to time from linseed oil fires, so we try not to have that here. This is just whatever linseed oil I could find at the local Cambodian tire. This, by the way, is a marking knife that I made out of old parts of a kitchen knife. Because reasons, I guess. I felt like trying to make my own little marking knife. So, I haven't really used it yet, but I've built it. So I got some foil. This is a beautiful old one. They're called a perfect grip or whatever screwdriver. From the 40s or something like that. I'll just let that sheen up there. And here's the chisel. Now that that's out of the way, let's see the color. Yeah, a little bit of color in it. Good. Squish the oil out into the handle there a little bit. Definitely will have to load up with quite a bit of this because the handles on these chisels are so old and dried out. They feel almost like balsa wood. Let's see if we can direct some into the end of this thing. There we go. Soak it up. Soak it up, princess. There. Try to revitalize her a little. Perfect. And here we have the revitalized, refurbished, vintage Swedish chisel. The brand actually is Homestrand, if you want to look it up. Hopefully it's good for another 50 years or so. And thanks for watching. Cheers.